This week is another Meals for Deals week. We had a lot of really good deals at our grocery store, and I was able to put together a really fun meal plan this week. Before we get started, we're the Canny Couple. I'm Julia. Erin is actually behind the camera today. And we're a small homestead family in rural Southwest Virginia that work every day to merge homesteading and frugality. So Meals for Deals is a series where I go and get the majority of the food we are going to eat for the week from the grocery store off of meals that I find from the flyers. This week we are doing for dinner a chicken, like a chicken parmesan, sort of like a mock chicken parmesan with cheese raviolis. These right here. And a tomato sauce. The tomatoes are from my pantry because I home canned my tomatoes. We don't buy those anymore. We are also going to be doing a spicy chicken with roasted Parmesan, carrots, and potatoes. And then for lunch, we are doing a taco chili. So let's go ahead and get started here. But before we jump into cooking, let me tell you how much we actually spent on the food. I've got my numbers here on my phone. So our total that we spent between both grocery stores was $54.53. Now, this includes stockpile items. So what I actually spent on the food was $44. This is clementines. I got 3 bags of these raviolis here. So we got 3 bags of raviolis. 5 pounds of potatoes. 2 pounds of carrots. We also ended up getting some mushrooms that were on clearance, which will go into our tomato sauce. I got a bag of black beans, which I've already pre-cooked, but it's these here. This was the steal. They had canned vegetables. They were buy 12 for 69 cents. So it was a really good price. I got 12 cans of those. If I'd had more room in my budget, I would have gotten 24 because carrots were included in that. And carrots in our area are never included in a sale price. I've got the mandarin oranges. I call them clementines. They're little mandarin oranges. That was 3 pounds for $2.99, which is as cheap as you can get them here. Let's see, what else did I get here? Making sure I get you all. We got our milk. That was $6. We get 2 gallons of milk, whole milk for the little one. And I included that in our weekly meal as well because we do use that throughout the week. The chicken breast, I ended up with 4.2 pounds. It was $2.99. It was boneless, skinless chicken breast. I'm thinking that's my new sale price. I've not bought chicken in a really long time. I've been using what I've had in the freezer. And I'm thinking $2.99 is my sale price. That was $12.59. The carrots, the corn. I also got some Parmesan cheese. We don't have this very often. This one was on sale, which is why I decided to go this route. Let's see here what else we have. The black beans. So I normally get these on sale for 88 cents a bag. They were $1.49. They were so expensive. They did have the canned beans on sale, but this was actually cheaper if you did the math. And I also got some sausage. So you all know I like to use sausage in my chilies and in my soups and things like that. So we got 2 pounds of sausage. 1 pound is in my freezer. 1 pound will be used for lunch. I told you about the mushrooms. They were $1.34. 2 pound bag of carrots was $2.99. And then the oranges were $2.99. So I feel pretty good.
Yeah, and when you said it was $44, that's for breakfast, lunch,
Yep.
and dinner.
The oranges will be breakfast. We're keeping it simple.
Right. But that's for how many days, too?
So breakfast will go through Friday, so Monday through Friday. Dinner is going to go from today, which is Sunday, through Thursday, so that's 5 meals. Lunch will go through 4 meals. But it's feeding 3 people.
Exactly.
So me, Erin, and the little one. Okay, so let's get started. So first here's what I have. I've got my mushrooms. I cleaned them off, and I always cook my mushrooms. And I have them in garlic and a little oil. We're going to go ahead and get that started to get them browned up. And while that is browning, we're going to get my chili going. So the chili. Sausage is already pre-cooked, and then we have our black beans. I'm just going to add them all in together. And how I cooked the black beans was I cooked them in water in some chicken bouillon that I have on hand. Salt. That's it. I threw them in there. I'll let them do their thing. And I would have gotten the red beans. But the red beans were $1.80. So Aaron's like, he just goes along with me. He's like, what are we doing? But I do try to cut our costs as much as possible. It's been really hard. It's been really hard these past few weeks. There have not been a lot of actual, like, there's been working pantry deals, like a few small items that I actually keep in my working pantry, but to build a meal plan off of that as a single item, it's been very hard lately. Making sure I have the right stove on. How many of you all do that? Turn the wrong stove on. There's a reason I don't have those little metal covers like my mom used to get them, and I'm sure your all's grandmas had them on their electric stove top, those metal covers. I've burnt one or two before. So easy. So Aaron is on, well, not on camera, he's behind the camera today. Have you missed it? Have you missed the filming?
Well, I will say it makes it harder to edit the videos and put them together when you're not for sure what's going on.
He likes the food.
Right.
He's enjoyed the bagels, which you'll see that video, and all the snacks that I made. He really liked those. So I don't want all of this liquid in here because I'm about to add tomatoes to this. And I don't want all that liquid, but I do want a little bit. I might add some more. We'll see. So I probably overcooked my black beans, but I would rather them be overcooked than undercooked. Get those stirred in. Then I have 2 jars of tomato, and this one has a jar and a half. This one does have a little bit of liquid in it because I just straight canned my tomatoes, and it'll cook out because we're going to put this on low and slow, let it do its thing. Smaller jar. Oh, perfect. We're going to take a can of corn. We're going to add that. Try not to cut myself. Give it a really quick stir. Don't want anything to burn up. And this one was really good, but I want to change up the recipe just a little bit. Go on hold for just a second. We'll be right back. Forgot my seasoning. Oops. So last time I just used taco seasoning. This time I'm going to use chili and taco. They're very similar, so it should be just fine. But I could tell I needed some more flavor in it. It was very good though. Aaron really liked this meal. And what we're having with this meal is, I made some homemade sourdough bread that we have to finish off. So we'll be having that from a couple weeks ago. I've been making lots of bread. Adding some taco seasoning. And as you can tell, we are heavy on the seasoning. This is probably 1/4 of a cup of each. Cut yours back to a tablespoon. Taste it. See if it needs more seasoning for you. I use seasoning very heavily. So you flavor however you need to flavor for you. We flavor for us. Aaron does not like under-seasoned food. He'd rather it be over-seasoned.
Except if it's too salty.
Salt is a problem, which is why we're very, very careful with taco seasonings and chili. We cannot use the Dollar Tree taco seasoning. We learned that the hard way. And I don't need any more liquid, so this is actually just fine. I had to put my lid in the oven. I didn't have anywhere to put it, and it was still hot. So I'm going to cover it. It's done. We're going to let it simmer and cook. We're still waiting for this to kind of cook down a bit. I need to add a bit more oil. So while we're waiting on it, we are going to get the chicken and our vegetables going. So the vegetables, I peeled them, cut them. You cut them however you would like to. It's really your choice. Diller's choice on that. have a pan here for when I do this chicken. So we'll go ahead and get the vegetables. And all we're going to do is we're going to take some olive oil. We want to give it a good coating of olive oil. You don't want it to be too low. We'll put the oven on 350. I'm going to get a spoon out here. And we are going to put some Parmesan cheese, probably about a half a cup. I don't want to go too heavy, just enough for flavoring and, you know, to give it that good crunchy texture. And I'm going to add some roasted garlic and herb seasoning. This is one that we really like on vegetables. And it's just it's a nice seasoning on a vegetable, especially like a potato and a carrot.
Right, yeah. It goes really good on vegetables. We prefer it on vegetables more than we do meat.
And then we'll just give this a really quick stir and get it all kind of incorporated. I might have to use my hand. They are clean, so that's okay. But I do need to make sure my mushrooms don't stick. So, tell me you all like my new hat. Aaron got me this for our anniversary. And you all are going to see the other thing he got me. This year was our copper year. He got me some beautiful copper measuring cups.
And one of the main reasons is that if you saw one of the previous ones before where she was complaining about breaking the handle off one, you remember that one?
I do break them. I break them so bad.
So these here supposedly
they're not breakable.
In the comments showed how many pounds they could withstand. So I'm hoping that they last for a while.
I've not gotten the wooden ones for that reason. I'm scared to death I'll break them. I am rough on stuff. I know that. I'm not good with the kitchen stuff. Has to be able to handle some pressure, but okay, that's good for me. As you can see, it'll be really simple. I don't do a lot of fuss with my vegetables. I just toss them lightly and go with it. That tends to be my preferred method. Let us do the spicy. Now this is going to be spicy. Some people might not like this. That's totally fine. We like a little spice. Like a kick.
Yep.
So I took my whole chicken breast and I kind of cut them, and these are the tops. And we're going to salt them pretty heavy. Because, you know, it is chicken. And I'm just going to put some sprinkling.
That's kicking
chicken.
Yeah.
I couldn't find the Cajun, or I would have done the Cajun on top. And then we are taking some of this honey that I got for Aaron.
And this is
hot honey.
Yeah, and it is hot.
Yeah, so we're only using a little bit. We're not using a whole bunch of it.
Like, for us to say it's hot, you know it's hot.
And it has crystallized because we don't use it very often. Like, very rarely do we use it. But we're just going to put a couple of dollops on here. Oh.
Yeah, it was hotter than I expected, I will say.
I got it for him for anniversary or something.
Yeah. Maybe birthday or Christmas.
Maybe your birthday. Yeah. We always try to get each other something we think the other person will like. But that's all I'm going to use. Now I might add some more honey to it. This is not what I would give the little one. She'll eat something else on this day. I'll have extra raviolis. She'll eat the raviolis.
And she'll like it better.
She will. She's not a huge...
Not a huge...
chicken fan.
Right, like a big piece of chicken.
And she will like nuggets.
But she don't like tenders.
I'm going to have to try making them homemade where I emulsify the meat. And see how well she does with that. I forgot I have my big oven, or my big pan in here. It's okay, but this is really real life cooking, people.
You need some help?
Nope.
Good.
I needed a cutting board. Just to set it on. It's so big, I don't have a place for it. Okay, the other chicken. So this chicken, what we're going to do is we're going to just do a very light coating of breadcrumbs, Parmesan cheese, some oregano. So we're going to put some Parmesan cheese in here. I'm going to put some oregano. I've been using oregano pretty heavy lately. It's actually been making some of the best pizza sauce. It's been so good. I made a pizza casserole the other day.
Yeah.
And it was really good. Like it was. I was shocked at how well it turned out. Actually, and we're going to go ahead and salt this as well. And it's just some basic breadcrumbs I had in the cabinet. I'm trying to use them up. We're not huge breadcrumb people, but I do need to get rid of these. I'm going to stir this together, and then I will toss my chicken in this. And I'm not going to use my hands. I keep this very simple, and we're just going to bake them in a dish with the other chicken. You can fry this, you can air fry this, however you like to do it. We don't. I don't. I'm going to put some oil because it will need a little bit of oil on the bottom of the pan. As you can tell, I've been trying to use this oil up for a while. And this is just the rest of that chicken, the 4 pounds, and we're just going to give it a light coating. We're going to do it in small sections. I just kind of cut it up to where it was bite size for us so it can go on top of our ravioli. Isabel's going to be really happy with ravioli. We're hit or miss on what brand she'll eat. But this one she has eaten before and liked it. And it's so easy to use. All I do to cook ravioli, I make my sauce. Let me go ahead and give that a quick stir. I make my sauce and add the cheese and the ravioli, and it's done. And we've never really had any issues. And I'm just going to lay these out. Like so. Again, we're going to bake these in the oven. If I get some extra breadcrumbs in there, that is okay. We're cool with that. Because I will probably sprinkle the rest of these on top and coat them with a little bit of my cooking oil. And they'll cook until they're done. Just cook your chicken until it's done. I don't really have a time because I think every oven cooks different. I just cook it till I know I no longer have raw chicken. It's not something I'm really willing to risk. I'd rather have overcooked chicken than raw chicken. Right?
Exactly.
I've never served this raw chicken. We've almost undersmoked chicken before, and we've had to pull it out and put it in the oven to make sure it was done in time. But we've never had actual raw chicken. And I'll probably stir these as I'm going through it. This was just the right amount. I'll be able to dump the rest of this right in the pan. It'll cook just fine. It'll cook really pretty, actually. Okay. I actually need to go ahead and get my tomato sauce in here. So what I did with my tomatoes is I took my jars and I went ahead and blended them with my stick blender. I used the wide mouth. I actually purposefully got the wide mouth this time so I have enough room to get my stick blender in it. We're going to add it to the tomatoes. We're going to add the tomatoes to the garlic and mushrooms. I have been making the homemade sauce for how long now? A couple months?
Yeah, but you've tried it on and off before that, but full time probably a couple months.
The baby's been
Enjoying it more. She doesn't like to touch.
She doesn't, well, she likes it better. She's really enjoying the taste of this better. She's been eating it a lot better. I'm going to add a good amount of oregano. I want this very seasoned. I want it nicely seasoned. I probably added a half a cup of oregano there. Again, we don't like lightly seasoned food. That's just not how we eat. And I'm going to add probably about a couple tablespoons of basil. Oregano and basil, if you have nothing else, will make you a really good pasta marinara sauce. And it smells so wonderful. You can also use just that to make a tomato sauce. Just use a little bit less oregano, a little bit more basil, like a soup. Okay. And what we'll do is we're gonna let this cook for probably about 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, you add your ravioli. They're only going to take about 10 to 15 minutes to cook through if they're not frozen. Mine are not frozen. I put them in the refrigerator so they would be thawed. And then they'll be ready to go. You can't really overcook these. You can also pop them in the oven. I typically just keep them in the pot that I do them in, so I have one less thing I have to wash. But everything here is really easy to make. I don't feel like anything is super complicated in this menu plan. Let's go ahead and get the rest of this chicken added. And the breadcrumbs, like it'll get kind of crumbly with all of the natural juice from the chicken, and it'll just all cook really well together. Just gonna make sure everything's nicely coated. All right, I'm gonna get everything in the oven. When we come back, it's all gonna be done. That is seriously how easy this week's meal plan is. But we'll be right back for you to taste try.
Okay, here is lunch.
Taco chili.
Let's see what this is like.
Is it better this time? Worse?
The chili
Overpowers the taco.
is overpowering the taco.
Okay. Still good?
Still good. I like it. But it's closer to a chili.
Okay. And this is dinner for the week. It includes the ravioli and chicken. That chicken turned out really good. The other chicken's a bit spicy.
That's an interesting take.
Is it good?
Mm-hmm. That is. Okay. Okay. You said this chicken is extremely spicy, right?
It's hot.
It's that hot honey.
It's a hot honey. It's got some heat.
I like it though.
It's very good.
Okay. Some ravioli. Sauce is good. That's the breaded.
It turned out
chicken.
really good. It looked really good.
That is really good. That's probably my favorite.
I thought it was really good this time. I thought it turned out not too crispy.
And that'd go good with the
Ravioli.
ravioli.
The sauce.
Mm-hmm. That is really good. I like
He
that.
says that surprisingly. She knows how to cook, people.
Okay. That's dinner and lunch for the week. And like she said, we're having the mandarin oranges, which you know we didn't cut up one of those. But if you like, just make sure to hit like, leave some comments below, and go and check our link tree, which has all of our other content. And
Thank you for joining us on the Canny Couple, where we work hard, live simple, and enjoy life. Have a wonderful day.